I just wanted to talk about something real quick because I don't know, I kept thinking about it. But there is this video that I saw a couple days ago called The Science of Awkwardness, and it's basically just about the science of awkwardness and like why people get awkward and like what that role plays in society when it comes to people like trying to fit into society and the boundaries of their standards and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll link the video down below. I think it's really interesting and I absolutely love that channel, Vsauce. Shout out to Chris and Jasmine for getting me into it. They literally mentioned it once and I was like, what is that? So then I looked up the channel and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing of my life. It's just a bunch of like interesting videos on topics that very curious people like myself are very into. So he just goes into that and he mentioned something about we feel awkward, and then when we feel awkward there's some sort of like shame going on, or we're like, oh my god, like I'm so awkward, I wonder what they're thinking about me, I wonder like are they gonna tell other people, is it gonna affect me in my relationship with other people, or how I fit in society, or how I fit into a community. And thinking about it in a very macroscopic level, it kind of makes sense for us as humans to have that automatic thought response, because back in the day, if people didn't like you, if you didn't fit into a tribe, you probably wouldn't survive. And like fitting in with people, having people like you, having people basically accept you into the group, that means survival, that means food, that means shelter. But nowadays it's like, okay, I don't need to have anybody. Like literally you probably don't need to have anybody and you could live. Like you could live, but are you really? He brought up a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt that I need to read because it's like the best thing that I've read all week. You wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. And that just hit me when I saw that quote in the video, because it's really true. Like if you think about it, like all of you guys and my family and my friends, I love them to death. They're part of my life. But in reality, they're like elements of my life, and this is my life. He explained how the person at the coffee shop who had an order in front of you who took like a really long time, like to you that's just like a person who took an annoyingly long time and like they couldn't get their shit together, like hurry up, you know. But then if you were in that person's shoes, if you were the person taking an annoyingly long time, it's because someone wasn't responding to you when you asked them about their order that they asked you to take to Starbucks, or the people weren't being very helpful, or they ran out of coconut milk or something like that. When you're in that person's shoes, you become more hypersensitive to the things that put your faults not in your own hands. If that weren't you, if that were someone else, then you wouldn't even think about it twice. You'd just be like, oh my god, that person needs to get their shit together. Obviously, there are some people who are more sensitive and they have the ability to think, oh my gosh, okay, that person must be having a really bad day, things probably aren't working well for them. But my point is, in your life, you're the protagonist of your life. Everybody else around you are just elements, and in the end, you're the only one that you end up with. So I think what I'm trying to say is, whatever you want to do it because it's for you. Do it because it will help you grow as a person. Don't not do something because you're scared other people aren't going to accept you. Other people are going to talk about you or think about you, because honestly, maybe they will gossip about you. Maybe they will talk about you, but they'll talk about you for like 30 seconds of their life. Like that's just filler for their life. It's time that they get to waste by talking about other people. But really, they're just worried about themselves. Like the fact that your panty line shows does not really register in other people's minds as something that like they take personally. It's just like an observation, and maybe they think something of you for that second, or maybe that's how they'll term you, like, oh, it's the girl with the panty line and the tight pants. But you know what? Who cares? Because they really don't think about it as much as you think about it. And if you realize that, if everybody just realized that, I feel like we would all I don't know why I chose this time exactly to make this video, because there's so much noise. I feel like I was trying to yell above those things. Another thing that he mentioned that I want to touch on is this word called Sonder, and it's basically taken from this dictionary website. This group of people, they just put really long terms that aren't really expressed in English words and make words for it, basically. So the term that they use is called Sonder, and Sonder is, I have to pull it up because I want to be right. Sonder is the realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own. Basically, But we don't realize that because we are living such a vivid and complex lives of our own, not really realizing that the person next to us sitting on the bus, or our teacher, or the person, you know, doing yard work outside has a life just as vivid as we do. So I just wanted to put that also in your mind to take as perspective, and hopefully this will help you guys be more confident in whatever you're doing. Everyone else is so focused on their life, so focused on what they're doing, so focused on, you know, trying to achieve their own goals, that what you do or how you are perceived by them really doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Don't let judgments or just what other people think about you get in the way of doing what you want to do and doing what you love to do. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, should I even talk about veganism? Should I even mention that I'm vegan? But then again, at the end of the day, like, that's what fulfills me. That's what makes me happy. And there are people out there who are gonna judge me for it. And there are people out there who are gonna roll their eyes at me for it every single time I talk about like the nutrition stuff. And I feel that. I feel it every single time I start bringing up nutritional things, or I get into a topic about nutrition and being plant-based and adding more fruits and vegetables and less animal products. I feel like almost a negative or repulsive like vibe coming from other people, and I can tell who really wants to listen and who doesn't, but they're really being nice. I start to think like, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this, maybe like it's just too much for other people. But then I realize like, this is my life. It'll annoy them, but like it'll annoy them for 2 seconds, and who cares? Like, I will just be known for that. Obviously I want to stay mindful of it if it starts to become a thing where I'm hurting people's feelings, or it's literally the only thing people can talk to me about. I get that, but I mean, I grew up and I still kind of struggle with minimizing myself for the sake of other people and letting other people be bigger because I wanted them to accept me. But this right now is really helping me to just do what I want, because really, who the fuck cares, you know? Like, they might think it's annoying, they might not like it, they might talk about it, but does it really affect me? Does it really change who I am as a person? They can do whatever they want. They can think about it any which way they want, and if they don't like it, then fine. There are plenty other people out there who can love it and who can appreciate it, or at least tolerate it, you know? I hope this helps you guys, and it doesn't have to be just with veganism. It can be like talking about your cats. It can be, you know, like always wanting to go ride on a boat, or it can be climbing trees or something like that. Just do what you want, do what you love, because you are the protagonist of your own story. Everybody else is just like, they're supporting characters. I'm just gonna, okay, that's the end of my video. My roommate came in, so it's like perfect timing. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.